I walk this empty road on the only road I've ever known. Don't know where it goes, and I'm the only one. I walk alone. Da-na, na-na, na-na. Anyway, it's not fair to steal someone's meme, especially after like what, 9 years. If you don't know the video I'm talking about, someone made this thing on YouTube, back in like 2008, and you know what, with YouTube's algorithm, it puts old videos in people's recommendations. Recently, I've seen this video from 2008 of this guy on like a Windows XP, uh, animating Boulevard of Broken Dreams with like a fucking circle tool mouth, and it was in sync with the music. Like he was literally doing this. I walk this empty road, I'm the only one I have ever. I don't know the lyrics. Well, I do know the lyrics, I just can't remember them. Welcome back to this series, which I'm kind of demotivated to do because, well, A, I'm sort of tired. B, I've got plenty of other things I should be doing right now. It's Christmas. Well, it's not literally Christmas, but it's December now, coming to the end of the year. I didn't really want to make a one tonight, but I thought might as well, to keep the workflow, to keep the no one's really bothered since there's only like 2 people who watch my videos. The only reasons my videos have like a high view count is because they watch them repeatedly. Like that fucking Avengers trailer reaction got 6 views, which is good because I thought it would get like fucking 10,000 and be more popular than my Brexit video, but no. I'm glad people aren't just watching anything with Avengers tagged onto it. I kind of have an idea of how to shade now. I tell you what, problem is, it's the wrong shape. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really want to do an episode, but I thought I would have had to go to keep the workflow, and I know you, Captain Neckbeard, you like the sexy sound of my voice, so I'm going to do one for you, even though I really can't be bothered. You're welcome. The problem is, I don't have much to talk about. Oh, I know what I can talk about. I completed the Turing test. That game, that little indie puzzle game I got for free on a Xbox. Yeah. It's got 2 different endings. Well, that I know about. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, you know what? I will spoil it. It's quite emotional, actually. Because at least someone has to die, and you kind of become attached to the characters, even though there's only 3 of them appear in the entire game, one of which you only see at the end. You make it to the end of the tests and all that. You're given an opportunity to disable the AI who's been controlling you all this time. And then what happens is you end up playing as the AI. You can either do 2 things. You can either kill them before they disable you, or you can let them disable you and you die. There's no other 2 ways around it. But it's quite emotional because at the end, the AI himself announces that he has feelings. So basically, if you choose to shut him down, disable the AI, then he starts kind of like upset. He's saying, "No, please, I don't want to die. I'm afraid. Listen to me." So there's that. And if you choose to kill them, Then after he's killed him, he says, "Hello, wake up. Are you there?" It's quite emotional actually. Obviously, no one else would think so because it's a little known game. No one has really played it. I say no one. People have played it, but as far as games go, it's not popular at all. Even for an indie game, indie game it's quite difficult. Only on rare occasions do indie games become big. The only reason you know about certain indie games is because they've gone big. Like Undertale, that went big. I reckon it's because Undertale had like lots of different characters and lots of different endings and secret messages. That's why it has such a fandom, which, everyone says, the fandom ruins the game, I hate the fandom, kill the fandom. Yeah, one thing I want to say about fandoms is that people say the fandom ruins something for you. Like, the amount of times I've heard people say, I like Undertale, but the fandom is cancer. Well, I know you're not, but you can't just kind of like judge something by its fan base. Like My Little Pony, we all know about the Brony fan base. And you can't just say like an entire fandom is bad because of some things you've seen. Yes, there is porn. Yes, there is cringy fan fiction and all that. And OCs, like Sonic OCs, we all know what they're like. Original character, do not steal. I don't care if people hate Sonic Forces. I actually want to get that. It looks quite fun, creating your own character. But yeah, anyway, I want to say, not all fans of something are like that. The only reason you've seen that is because it stands out. Like you see, there's Undertale porn. That means the Undertale fan base is bad. There's like loads of fans of Undertale, and only like furries as well. Furries, Steven Universe fans. What else? Five Nights at Freddy's fans. Yeah, there's loads of fans in there, and the porn, the NSFW part of all this stuff, and the cringy shit you see, that's only a fraction of the entire fan base, and the fact that people judge an entire fan base based on that tiny little fraction it's just pretty ignorant. Like the furry fandom, people hate the furry fandom because of the furry porn they see. The porn, I'm trying to be careful with what I say here because I've got housemates. The porn is only a small side of it, like a small section of the entire furry fandom, and it only sticks out. It's only infamous because it's porn. Of course, it's going to be infamous. Everyone is a pervert. Everyone judges things by their sexual look. But the truth is, the truth is about the furry fandom. I'm part of it, and it's a whole lot of fun, really. One thing I wanted to talk about in this episode is the new Formula One logo. Yeah, so this is the Formula One logo everyone's come to know and love. It's been like this since the 90s. I like the use of negative space, but the thing is, with a logo like that, it's really smart how they use the indents on the F as these serifs on the one. But then again, a logo like that could kind of be used for anything, like a cookie factory, an F1 cookie factory, if it just happens to be called F1. I don't know, just like a random example. I was thinking about this earlier. And instead of having the stripes, it could be gingerbread men or whatever. Oh, what the shit. I'm moving the browser around. I wasn't meant to do that. I was meant to grab the scroll bar. Shit. I hate this website. I reveal to you the new logo. Drum roll. Can't do a fucking drum roll. Da 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 da. Here we go. This is the new F1 logo, the new Formula One logo. And of course, there's people who were saying, I hate the new logo, the old one's so much better. I'm not going to be one to judge, but I like the new F1 logo. You know, it kind of represents, you know, the speed. I even read on Creative Review or Creative Block, one of the graphic design websites, how they designed it so that it creates a sense of speed. You know, the speed, the precision, and the design of Formula One in general. And I have to agree, you know, I like the representation of the logo. Like the one is almost like the start line, and the F is like a track. Like that looks like a bend. Kind of looks like a Scalextric track, if you know what I mean. The only thing that the only problem with it, I think, really is the fact that it doesn't really stand out as saying F1. Like that could be anything. It could be an I, and that doesn't look much like an F to me. Like it does if you, the problem is, like, if you had no idea this said F, this was the Formula One logo, or if it said F1, then you would have no idea that that was an F or that was a one. That's the problem with it. Like here, it's communicated like quite clearly because that's clearly an F and there's the one in there, and that negative space is smart. You know, this was done back in 1994, I think. This, you know how I would improve that, how I would improve this. I did this in Adobe Illustrator. Here's a PNG of the new F1 logo. You know how I think it could be improved? Like this. I know it's really shoddily done, really lazily done, but I just wanted to get a point across rather than make something fancy. But do you see what I've done? I've extended the lower bit of the F, taking it out to make it look a bit more like an F, even though it doesn't really look like it still. I reckon maybe if this middle part was kind of like lower down, maybe like here, it would look more like it. Only problem with that is racetracks aren't built like that, you know. Formula One tracks, they don't kind of like fork and then merge, unless it was like Mario Kart or something, or the Hot Wheels expansion in Forza Horizon 3. Speaking of which, I've pretty much completed, almost. I've done all the street races, I've done all the campaign races and the championships. I guess there's just multiplayer to do. I've had Tales from the Borderlands on my Xbox for a while now. I got it when it was free, and I still haven't played it, actually. Even though I'm a big fan of Borderlands, I think because I kind of wanted to play other games at the same time, like the Turing Test, and what was the other one? Super Lucky's Tale. You know, the game, it's all right, I guess. I guess it was kind of, the reason it was hyped up is because it's like one of the first Xbox. It's like one of the first Xbox franchises which isn't all about guns. Because think about Xbox's IP history. You know, Halo. What's it about? Guns, shooting, all that. Gears of War, guns and shooting. And that's it really. Xbox aren't really known for their unique characters. Forza is an Xbox game, but who the hell are the characters? There are no characters, it's just cars. It's a racing game, you don't exactly get unique characters in racing games, unless it's F-Zero or Mario Kart, which are Nintendo games. Like Nintendo, on the other hand, have tons of unique franchises, they're awesome. I'm going to tell you how Nintendo and Sony like handled their franchises. With the Nintendo, they I'm not saying they're bad for doing this. Nintendo, unlike Sony, they rely on their classic franchises. You know, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon. They're like the they're like the big three Nintendo franchises. But they've also got Metroid, Star Fox, Kirby. Um, and what they do, because they know the fans love them, is that they keep releasing their games. You know, since the most popular ones they concentrate on the most because they know they're more profitable, like Mario and Pokemon. And like I said, the big three: Mario, Pokemon, Legend of Zelda. Sony, on the other hand, PlayStation. What Sony do is that rather than stick to their original characters that people have come to know and love, they keep creating new characters. They keep creating new IPs. They kind of think people don't want the same shit over and over again. We kind of have to create new franchises. You know, adopt to what people like. Think of Naughty Dog, for example. They went from Crash Bandicoot on the PS1 to Jak and Daxter on the PS2, then to Uncharted on the PS3, to The Last of Us on the PS4. It was also on the PS3, but it was re-released on the PS4. But think about it. Think about how different those characters are. If I think about it, they've kind of gone less and less cartoony over time. You know, Crash Bandicoot is like a classic game character. He's a classic anthropomorphic animal character, which were big in the 90s. Had the special attacks, collected the things. It was a classic 90s thing. Cartoony, appealed to kids. Jak from Jak and Daxter. I've never played Jak and Daxter, but he's still cartoony. You can still understand. You can still visualize his silhouette like Crash Bandicoot. But unlike Crash, he's kind of more mature. Kind of. First of all, he's humanoid. I think he's like an elf or something. I don't know. He's got them big like elf-like ears, and he uses guns. So it's kind of like comic style. Like, it's clearly not meant to look realistic, but it's kind of like a more mature story. And thirdly, we have Uncharted. You know, Nathan Drake. He looks just like a real person. Like the graphics in Uncharted, they're much more realistic. They're designed to look more like real life situations. But it still retains that Naughty Dog charm. It's still got a lot of crazy, funny moments in it. It's like Indiana Jones, you know. It's got live action, but it's all kind of wacky, cartoony antics. And then there's The Last of Us. Despite having critical praise and everyone loving it, saying it's like, oh, one of the best games ever, it is like the pit of what Naughty Dog is able to do. You know, the characters aren't distinguishable, or yeah, by their attitude, but not how they look. It's your typical gloomy, dull zombie survival game from the early 2010s, which was becoming popular. They're really adjusting with the times. Like, all games now are all, well, I say all games now, all games in like the early 10s, late 2000s were all dark and gritty. That's what they were going for. And I reckon if zombies hadn't become so massively popular during that time, like what with The Walking Dead, then The Last of Us probably would have been shrugged off as like just another survival zombie game or whatever. But because by that time critics, all they wanted from games was story and characters rather than actually good gameplay, they said, oh yeah, best game ever, better than Crash and all that. But it just kind of goes to show how they're changing with the times and how games are changing with the times. This episode has gone on a lot longer than I thought it would. but I'll edit it down. Like the bit with the F1 logos, I'm gonna have to edit that heavily. Higher in the other sky, unchain the light, na 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 na. Unchain the light. Na, 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 na. I'm singing Avantasia, by the way, kind of like a rock opera band. You may have heard of them. They're quite. I'm not that much into that kind of music anymore. Well, I am, but it's not my favorite genre. It's a bit. It's like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. It's like part metal, part orchestra, part. It's like lots of different genres. Am I in sync? That's a song by Circle of Dust. It's what Clayton was part of before Cell Dweller. You know, his music project in the 90s. I'm feeling a bit demotivated. I was kind of a bit depressed last night. Well, I'm always depressed, but kind of like more depressed than usual last night. Well, I'm not really sure why, really. I think it was partly to do with I kind of ordered something in the mail a while ago. I kind of came back from like it should have came like 2 days, 3 days prior. I was getting a bit paranoid because I thought one of my flatmates had taken it. But I got home from uni yesterday. I found out there was a package for me, and I was so excited. I finally got the thing. I ordered it. I opened it, and it was a Christmas tree from my parents, and I was like, oh, I was kind of like disappointed that it wasn't what I'd been hoping for. And for some reason, I don't know if it was that or whether it was something else, but I just kind of went into a big depression yesterday. Like, I didn't see my flatmates at all. Well, I did, but I just didn't want to talk to them. I just kind of wanted to sit in my room and drink myself to death, which I'm doing now, but not necessarily to death. I'm actually somewhat proud. I know I shouldn't be, because it still looks like shit, but I'm actually somewhat proud with how this came out. I'm getting along really slowly, but slow progress is better than no progress. Oh yeah, I don't know if I told you. I might have told you in that video I deleted. I think I actually did say it in a video I kept. That's the Ron Razor. Fuck. I stopped playing Deadfall because I got to this bit that was it was impassable. I don't know if it was glitched or something, but I had no idea how to get past it, and I wasn't gonna bother looking up a walkthrough because the game is absolute shit. But I kind of stopped playing that, and I played the multiplayer instead. And the multiplayer was just, I was actually really good at it. I won the match. I only played one match. No, I played two, because I can't be bothered with such a shit game. And I disconnected from the first game because it's. I was surprised to see the servers were still up. But the second game I won. Like, not only did my team win, but I got the highest score. All I really did was run around the map, one-shotting people with my shotgun. Because the game is so shit that it's imbalanced, and it lagged like fuck. I don't think that was the servers, but the actual game. Well, no, it was the servers. Nothing to do with my internet connection. My internet connection's fine. I'm gonna continue this, but I'm gonna continue with doing this, but I'm gonna end the video because it's been going on for way too long. This has been Kairos the Wolf, rambling while trying to do art again. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you can. But most of all, thank you for watching, and until then, bye for now. My shadow's the only thing along that's beating. My shallow heart, the only thing that's beating. Someday I wish someone someday will find me. Till then I walk alone. Boom, 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 boom. Na 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 na. Also, I forgot to mention, I finally finished that, skyline picture I was on about. Yeah, I managed to get a picture for the background. This is the one I took myself. The car park I was on about, but it's a little bit busier than I thought. Especially since I wanted to do it at night. It was kind of like late afternoon. I discovered that cameras can't take pictures at night without using a flash, because otherwise it would just show up as black. There'd be nothing on there. So it kind of took one at like late afternoon. I used Photoshop to make it look darker. And yeah, it's a bit busier than I'd hoped. Like, you see all the cars in the background. But I'm still kind of impressed with how it came out. Anyway, this has been Karas the Wolf saying, look at my amazing art. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you can, but most of all, thank you for watching. Till bye for now.